The blue figure lifted his hood back to reveal the strong, sharp face of a young man, his gaze intense beneath a furrowed brow that was bisected by straight vertical scar. His thick hair was shoulder length and had a slight wave to it. Anakin Skywalker reached out his hand. Luke took it, and everything went white. Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day. So today we're going to take a look at an interaction that Luke has with his father, Anakin Skywalker, as a Force ghost. Now, this takes place in Adam Christopher's book, Shadow of the Sith. So if you want a little bit more context behind this meeting, go ahead and check that out. I've actually linked in the description what StarWars.com shared about this particular scene. But what I really want to focus on actually is how Anakin was able to become a Force ghost and what that might mean even for the future of Star Wars, whether that's the Ahsoka show or whatever they might do in the future. So something that we know so far is that it took an extensive training in order for a Jedi to become a Force ghost. Now, a Force ghost was simply one who had basically released themselves to the light side of the Force fully once they died, rather than become one with the Force like most beings. Somebody who had mastered this and had gone through training could actually maintain their identity and interact with the living physical world even after their death. We see that Qui-Gon began this training and eventually must have finished it, though that's kind of a new canon situation because we see him manifest his form in the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Before that, our understanding from the Clone Wars, the arc where Yoda goes out and begins the training for himself, we get the understanding that Qui-Gon was killed by Darth Maul before he could finish this training, and that's why he was only able to manifest himself as a voice. But Obi-Wan Kenobi's finale maybe suggests something different. Yoda begins this training and finishes it, and then Obi-Wan also gets this training from Qui-Gon. And that's, if there is a season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I really don't think there will be, but if there was, that's what I want to see more of, is Qui-Gon training Obi-Wan and maybe even interacting with Yoda a little bit. Maybe the three of them are continuing to train and learn this technique of becoming a Force ghost. But all that to say, we know that they trained in order to accomplish this, but Anakin did not. As Vader, he was not able to do this. This wasn't a power and ability that was open to Sith. Now, Sith have some similar techniques, but they're not the same. The Force Ghost is incredibly powerful because that being maintains their identity and who they are, rather than the Sith versions are typically more of like empty wraith-like ghosts, like almost echoes of who that person was. So Anakin spent most of his time as Vader. There wasn't a chance for him to learn this stuff. It just wasn't a power that was available to him. So when he dies, how does he get the opportunity to learn how to become a Force ghost so quickly? We saw that the other three had to train for this. So I think there's a couple answers here. And one of them first is found in a Legends novel. And I say Legends, but Canon hasn't come up with an explanation for this yet, and this makes sense. So to me, it is the logical explanation, but it comes from a book called The Life and Legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this book tracks Obi-Wan from meeting Anakin as a kid all the way to his last encounter with him on the Death Star, and then even beyond. It covers Obi-Wan's perspective there. Part of the beyond part of this book is we actually get Obi-Wan's perspective of Anakin dying. And it says this: after Anakin died in his son's arms, Obi-Wan called out into the void, "Anakin." A moment later, Obi-Wan heard a familiar voice return. From the darkness, "Obi-Wan, Master, I'm so sorry. So very..." "Anakin, listen carefully," Obi-Wan interrupted. "You're in the netherworld of the Force, but if you ever wish to revisit corporeal space, then I still have one thing left to teach you. A way to become one with the Force. If you choose this path to immortality, then you must listen now, before your consciousness fades." Obi-Wan sensed confusion and remorse in Anakin's psyche. Then Anakin answered, "But, Master, why me?" "Because you ended the horror, Anakin," Obi-Wan said. "Because you fulfilled the prophecy, because you were, and are, the chosen one." But Obi-Wan knew in his heart that those were not the only reasons. He added, "Because I was wrong about you, because I am your friend." Anakin answered quietly, "Thank you, Master." So that's one moment. This all happens right after Anakin dies in Luke's arms. Anakin immediately kind of realizes he's still conscious for the moment in what he finds out is the netherworld of the Force. It's almost like this in-between holding area. It's this in-between area before becoming one with the Force. And Obi-Wan uses this window of time. You can see that he isn't even like allowing Anakin to talk, because he wants Anakin to understand that if he wants to be able to manifest himself as a Force ghost, he's got to act now. Now, what Obi-Wan is saying is that Anakin has the ability. Because he was the chosen one, he has the ability to do this, but he needs to take the knowledge and apply it now. And that's part of the second reason why Anakin was able to do this. While Qui-Gon, Yoda, and Obi-Wan trained, we also know that part of becoming a Force ghost also involves sacrifice. And we see this with Obi-Wan sacrificing himself on the Death Star against Vader. And while sacrifice doesn't seem to be necessary, we see that it is an influence in Obi-Wan's journey to becoming a Force ghost. And it's also the reason why Anakin is able to become a Force ghost. This sacrifice to bring balance to the Force, his sacrifice ends the Emperor, ends the Sith. That sacrifice allowed him to become a Force ghost and have that ability without all of the training that like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Yoda did. But he doesn't really know how to put all the pieces together. So being the chosen one and his great sacrifice to bring balance to the Force gave him all of the pieces to become a Force ghost, but he didn't know to put them together. And that's why Obi-Wan quickly reaches out to him as he is dying. So Canon hasn't fully explained this yet. Like I said, that's from a Legends book, but I think it holds up, and I think that we can actually see, maybe in Ahsoka or something upcoming in Star Wars, we can maybe actually see this explained a little bit more. How did Anakin Skywalker become a Force ghost? And I think this is a really cool opportunity for Disney to be able to utilize some of these characters like Anakin and Qui-Gon and chronologically take the story forward, but also utilize some of these characters in real time rather than having to go back to flashbacks or anything like that in order to hear from these characters. Now, I still want flashbacks and all of that, but I think that this is a way that I think we're going to see Disney start utilizing more in Star Wars. Anyways, let me know in the comments below if we were to get one Force Ghost scene of Anakin Skywalker, what would you want that to be? Who would you want him to appear to? Personally, I would love to see more conversations between Luke and Anakin. I'd love to see Anakin guiding his son as he rebuilds the Jedi Order, as he wrestles with the darkness of Palpatine's return, stuff like that. But what would you like to see? Tell me in the comments below. May the Force be with you.